And it's the big show, Guatemala style.
All right.
Do you know any Guatemalan?
There are 20 different languages in that country.
Oh, so you could
we
say
had
anything and nobody would
multiple
know.
interpreters. Like I knew a few words of Spanish, but sometimes we needed an interpreter to go from Spanish to Quiche, which was the district that we were in.
So those are all different versions of Mayan?
I'm not sure.
I think they are. I think
Okay.
that's right. So Selah would love to lick you.
I know. She's been doing it under the table.
So you're here probably because you're interested in Guatemala, or you're interested in Mary Lou, or you're interested in Uniquely the Same, or you just happen to come and
I was invited.
by mistake you showed up here. So we're glad that you're here today, and if you want to comment, share our stuff, please do that. And we will I'm going to give Selah a little something to get rid of her. Here you go. Go eat that somewhere. That was a pot pie.
A pot pie?
Yeah, I should have shown it to you. But anyway,
Can I try that on my husband? Go eat that somewhere?
Yeah. That's the way to do it. So it's a big show. I've got a lot going on technically, so I'll probably make a bunch of mistakes.
Okay.
But we're gonna. I want to talk about what's been going on in your life, all the stuff.
Okay.
Things have been going crazy, but mostly about your trip to Guatemala. Okay. So what can you tell us? So when was this?
This was I think started June 8th, ran through the 15th. So we left on a Saturday afternoon and made it down there pretty late in the evening. So we stayed overnight in the capital city, Guatemala City, because it was a 3.5 hour drive to where Excelsi's located in Chichicastenango.
And what was the purpose of the trip?
Belfield Church in Oakland has partnered with this particular ministry for about 8 or 9 years now. So Excelsi's been there about 20 years that they've had all this time to kind of build up their mission. And then because Cindy and BJ Gormley from Belfield Church moved down there to be with their daughter, who married a local, wanted to see their grandkids.
How about that?
So the daughter was a long-term missionary, and then the mom and dad joined her, and they've now become part of the whole ministry down there. So they coordinate things at the Guatemala end, and then we have somebody at Belfield that coordinates at our end, and so she was like our fearless leader, Bobby Perkins. So she had to manage 18 of us and the multitudes of bags and luggage and everything that we took with us. And So did you pack a bunch of stuff in bags so you take a whole bunch of stuff for free down? We each had an allowance of 2 checked bags. So really we tried to get all our personal items into the carry-on and the thing that would go under the seat, because the checked bags were full of donated clothes and shoes, medications, just everything, school supplies. One bag was totally full of the things that we were going to play with the kids, like crayons and bubbles and jump ropes. And when my brother asked me, so what'd you do in Guatemala? I said, I played with little kids. Which doesn't sound terribly important, but
so one thing, you mentioned Belfield Church, which is a Presbyterian church in Pittsburgh.
Yes,
it's right next to Pitt, the University
right across
of Pitt.
the street. Yeah.
So they do a lot of stuff with Pitt stuff.
Yes,
and so anyway, so that's where it is. It's a university church, and it's a real great church down there. Mm-hmm. And they do all sorts of ministries. Yep. So anyway, so this is one of them.
So this was one that, yeah.
Where were you in Guatemala?
Well, we started out in the capital city where we landed, but the city where Excelsi's located is Chichicastenango. So that was 3.5 hours away. It is fun to say, but when we tried to Google it to find out what that meant, it sounds like it's Poison Ivyville. It's named after a poisonous plant. Yeah, so we were trying to make sure we didn't run into any
that's like
Chi-Chi
Pittsburgh's
stuff.
named after a pit.
Yeah. Not really. But so the Excelsi, I don't like to use the word compound, but I'm not sure what else to call it, because there was a multitude of buildings. It was gated. It was very secure. Then we spent a few days there, and they have their own medical clinic. They do some dental stuff. Different mission teams that come throughout the year. Like there must be 25 to 30 different groups that go down during a year. So the group from Missouri they do all the eye stuff, the eye exams, the surgeries. They go back home, make glasses. They go like 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Belfield just goes once a year. And so they have us help out. We had with us 2 dentists, 2 doctors, contractor.
Yeah, you were serious.
Oh, yeah. And
these were just people that happened to be on the trip.
Yeah. So of the 18 people, so we were supporting beefing up the medical clinic for a few days, and then did a pop-up medical and dental clinic in another city an hour and a half away called San Antonio, but we never left Guatemala. We were still there. But
there's a San Antonio
in Guatemala.
In Guatemala.
In the district. I was trying to figure out the organization. It seems like Guatemala might be as big as one of our states, and then all these districts would be like equivalent to our counties. And everyone like had their own language.
Rob asks if you rode a chicken bus.
I did ride a chicken bus. I don't think I have the picture of me sitting in a driver's seat there, but any chance
is that one photo of a chicken bus?
Yeah, there's 2. There's one where people were getting. Now that's the top of the chicken bus because we rode that from Chichicastenango to San Antonio, and we took with us the whole SLC staff. So besides the 18 of us, all total, there was like 40 people that went. So there we were unloading when we got to this other church. Everything was like up on the roof, cots and sleeping bags, and because we were stayed overnight inside the church. And so my my daughter said if there was no chickens, she was going to suggest false advertising. But I think they're chicken buses because you're playing chicken with the oncoming traffic that looks like they're only 1-lane roads.
Oh, and a bus. You guys win though. If there's an accident, the bus wins.
Well, it depends.
Look at those flames on the side of the bus.
These are old school buses from the United States that they have recycled, repurposed, painted them, added the racks on top, added storage inside for all the luggage, and it's the public transportation down there, which is why there could be chickens on the bus.
Now, did I miss any questions, Anna Marie? I've only seen a few things.
What were the 3 items of the trip? I'm not sure. The 3
You must have
agendas?
said there were 3 things.
Okay, yeah, and that's, if you talk to my husband, his 3 missions were get the kettle corn machine down there, and teach them how to make that, and then leave it there so they could use it for fundraising, to run the medical and dental clinics. And
so if you go to an event and you invite John, he brings kettle corn a lot.
Lot, yeah.
And because he has kettle corn, and one of the things he figured out is if he could take a kettle corn machine, it's like a capital investment, right, down to somebody, and he just gives it away down there.
Yeah,
to somebody?
he teaches somebody how to use it.
How does a person get picked?
That's a pretty big deal. In this particular location, they had the equivalent handyman down there that works for SLC, Angel, who was very capable. He'll be in some of the pictures somewhere, but John taught him. In fact, he helped John build the wooden sides, the
crate to take it in or to ship it around in.
The bowl of the machine is the equivalent of 1 check bag. The motor on top with the paddle monkey fits into another equivalent of a check bag. There should have been metal sides around there, and the airline put their foot down and said, no, you're not taking it, it's too big and it's excess baggage, and we had to leave it behind, and they built the stand to put it on.
That's creative.
Yeah, we had permission over the phone to take it, but when we showed up at the airport, they were like, you're not doing that. So I was a little concerned about propane tanks and flames.
So we have 3 shots of that. So there's the kettle corn maker.
We were at Excelsi on their grounds, there where he was. They had just finished building it, and then we had taken a lot of the spare parts. But to make sure that the people down there would know how to run it, that we also took it with us on the chicken bus. On the pickup truck. There was always a pickup truck following us everywhere with stuff. But every day there was kettle corn for snack. And that just attracts so much attention when you fire that thing up. The doctors and nurses all come out and watch, and they just can't wait to get some. And what's the name?
Is this the guy?
Poporopos.
Is that the guy?
That's Angel. Yeah, he's very integral to the mission down there, and he's kind of like their maintenance man, handyman. He himself has quite the personal.
Oh, he's
story.
got the big wooden spoon in that
well,
picture.
yeah.
I don't know if you can see it very well.
Yeah, that's one way you can stir it up. So, but by the end of the week, they were successfully able to transition over, and John says, "Okay, I'm not helping. You know what to do." And he did. He was quite capable.
Pretty neat. Hey, it looks like we have one of the largest audiences we've ever had. I didn't do a quick count, but it looks to me like there's more people here than there. Certainly more than there
hoping
usually
that
are.
very late memo I put out to the amazing adults from camp.
There's like there's really like 150 or 200 people who watch through the week, like watch the recording or whatever.
Okay.
But 10 or 15 at any time live. And that usually means quite a few people coming and going because people don't usually see the whole thing. So
you think it's because of me?
Oh, I'm sure it is. Stay off. It could be Selah.
I should have invited all my friends.
So let's look at. So here's the facility.
Yeah, they started with the Bible Institute to train people to be pastors, to start churches, and
where was this Bible Institute?
It's on the grounds of Excelsi. That's the medical clinic on the grounds of Excelsi.
So there's multiple buildings,
right? Now that one though is the church we went to in San Antonio.
Okay, we'll skip past that one.
Okay,
is this back to
Beautiful
Excelsi or
inside.
is that the church?
That's the church, the big white church. Now in the medical clinic, what was cool was there were Bible verses written on the walls all over the place. And so as I was trying to practice my Spanish and figure out what that says.
Do you know what that one says?
I think that might have been was that the Jeremiah one? I can't quite see what it says there.
Le trasero salud is...
I didn't know a whole lot of Spanish anyways.
Yeah, it's not going to be...
Thankfully, we had lots of interpreters.
I had Spanish, I'm sorry to admit.
Yeah, I did
and
French.
I won't tell you
I did a mashup of like, oué, I'm used to saying, where's the bathroom in French?
Rob would like to know how much
how many bags did we make? Oh, okay. So we took with us, the box of the little paper bags has 350 in it, but we also took a box of the slightly bigger plastic ones that had like 1,000. So in 2 days we were done with the 350 bags.
And is that like a serving, or what goes in a bag? Like it's for a person?
It's per person. It's a snack size. Bigger than what you would buy, like if you were buying the little 1 ounce bag of chips or something. But it's a decent sized snack.
So Sam says, "Thanks for the memo to the Amazing Adults." Does that mean the Amazing Adults have like a page or something?
They have their own private Facebook page. They call
cool.
it the Amazing Adults Fraternity, so that if we post things on there specific to that particular group, it doesn't go out there to all of Facebook.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Nice.
So
yeah, welcome any amazing adults that are here. There's a bunch of people that went to camp, which is another thing that you did, but we can't talk about too many things in one show, or the show will go over our long length that we've been going.
So we were getting a tour inside the clinic while it wasn't running at the time. This was so impressive.
So this is back at the
beautiful. This is at Excelsi. It was the gardens outside of. They actually had a little special needs school that had a couple of classrooms in it.
Yeah, I noticed in the middle of that shot there's a
wheelchair swing and an adaptive swing in that playground, which I'm thinking another mission group must have come down to build it.
They have some adaptive equipment. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, there was the garden because, like where I used to work at the School for Blind Children here in Pittsburgh, horticulture therapy, is really a big important thing. It's so sensory. They were growing flowers and herbs that they were going to learn to use to cook with in the cooking class. And it was just very nicely done program.
How neat. Let's try to shoot through a bunch of slides. So we already saw the what are these slides?
Okay, so when we did the pop-up clinic in San Antonio inside the church, it was a massive church, beautiful white tile floor and green plastic furniture for chairs, so you could always stack them up and get them out of the way and clear the way. But those are bags of like Ziploc bags. Each have a 1 month supply of some kind of medication. And we had they actually let me count them out at one point.
Oh, goodness!
When I thought I was getting sunburned outside.
So how accurate was it? Was it always a month, or did you miss
it? Was
a day
always
or two every
well. No, we actually had that funny little plastic thing with the stick, and you counted them into
Wow.
the thing and slid them in, and. So they, depending on once they were seen by the doctor, whatever he prescribed, that was actually how they were putting up privacy, PVC and sheets around it. So that was going to be for the doctor exams, and then the other one was for the dental exams. They got this tiny little dental chair that they worked with. And
Nice.
so you could see kind of right out the front door. So, yeah, that's the... Kim had just graduated from dental school, so she was new. And then we also had a veteran with us. Sam wants into the favorite part of the trip. Oh, my gosh. It's so many things to pick from. I love the idea of having, like, the devotions in the morning, that debriefing at the end of the day, like how we would do it family retreat, where you talked about like what was the best part of the day or challenging or whatever, but playing with the kids, the little kids, and having a 13-year-old high energy kid with us on the trip made that so much fun.
So there's somebody waiting at the clinic.
No, she's actually picking up her meds. So she's already been seen by the doctor, or maybe the baby was too, or both of them, and they get the script, and then they come over to the table where the ladies were counting out the meds, and they get whatever was prescribed.
Yep. Hey, Kevin, nice to see you. Kevin said he's enjoying the show.
Okay. So it
Kevin
threatened
Sloniker.
to rain. It was the rainy season, so we had moved the kids indoors. There was a big cement patio outside where usually they were coloring or whatever. Oh, that's Willie. Thumbs up from Willie. But
that's Willie there on the bottom left.
yeah. But what was happening is there would be like maybe 100 or so people come to the clinic to be seen, and coming with their preschool kids and babies and that. And so
Wow.
our 13-year-old Julia and I would be entertaining them and trying to keep them out of trouble. But there was an open field and a school beside the church that let out around 11 or 11:30. And these are the older school-age kids that once they know there's popcorn for snack,
They're in.
they are there.
There's
and
you with some
Guatemalan girls know how to take selfies better than me. I mean, if they get their hands on your camera, they're always doing selfies.
What's this about?
okay,
so you put everybody to work, had them sweep the floor?
After the first day the clinic was over, then we had to push everything to the sides,
Yeah.
and everybody grabbed brooms and that, because that's where we were going to sleep that night. They already have the cots. They're starting to line them up.
I
on the
see.
bed.
So this is
And
where
so
you
we
slept
had-
the night.
Yeah,
So
we
you,
had to
so
sleep
you slept
in there.
in the clinic.
Yeah, the guys on one side,
Hotel
the women
by
on the
night.
other side, the bathroom
Yeah,
outside.
but you had all those privacy things you could put down the center.
Well, but they didn't. We just didn't have enough. All right,
So
so
here's some of the
Julia
play, huh?
tried to teach them every kind of fun thing we do in the United States. They must have thought we were a bunch of crazy Americans, but actually the guy in the yellow shirt was our interpreter. And so that was Jeremy. But like I said, once the school-age kids came over, it was a lot easier to teach them stuff. Little kids do not understand musical chairs in any language, it's apparently.
Well, it's a tough. It's
It is. But
So,
they liked Monkey in the Middle and Tug of War and all that.
So Kevin Sloniker said this is important to him because he's got a friend that's going to go there in October.
yeah?
So,
So, okay, there's our 13-year-old Julia, who had nice long hair, and the girls wanted to braid her hair for
Oh,
her.
so they braided her
There
hair.
she was teaching them wheelbarrow
Yeah,
races out in the
wheelbarrow
field, and so like on the other side of the field's the school, so they would just come through there on their bikes and everything, and I questioned the interpreter. I'm like, aren't their parents expecting them to come home from school?
Yeah.
No. Now this playground is back at Excelsi, so when we were running the clinic there, we had better access to swings, and the little kid in the middle would not talk to us for the first hour. He just wanted to sit in one swing by himself, and so she got him onto the seesaw and everything else. And
Oh, you guys were good. What's the fruit about? Some good looking fruit.
I'm trying to see if that one is in the market, because sometimes when we would be having the clinic, then one of the locals would come by with food and sell food, because they knew that people were going to be hanging around for hours waiting to be seen. But
Good
I
for
think
them.
this looks more like this is at one of the regular fruit markets, and everywhere you went they had fresh food. Now, one of the things we did while we were in San Antonio, the pastors there chose 3 or 4 families to visit, and they broke our team up, into smaller groups. And the pastors would come along and the interpreters would come. And we would do these home visits and deliver like a month's worth of, like the big white bag is 50 pounds of corn, the kind they use for making tortillas.
Oh, yeah.
And sugar and salt and oil. And then we would take cookies and juice boxes and have a little snack. But what happened here, this is the one that John went to. It was a house made out of mud bricks. It was all falling apart. The kids were there. And the parents were not there because the day after we left, they were having presidential elections. And there were rallies going on every day. There would be, the streets would be lined with those trucks and buses and everything. And basically, the people were told, if you don't show up at the rally, we're going to turn off your electricity. So they were, bribed isn't the right word. It was more like...
Maybe that's how we get the people in the United States to vote.
I guess. But, so they had to show up, and they left the kids behind, and they went through the visit anyways. But, and I had gone to a different place, but... They were basically catching water runoff from the roofs. The roofs were all made out of this corrugated tin. And it being the rainy season, that is deafening when that hits the roof. That's just craziness.
Did we ever get to the 3 things? The 3 missions?
The medical clinics, the popcorn machine, and build the house.
Oh, so that's where we are.
Yes, there you go. And so...
So what's build the house?
Yeah, so Cindy and BJ Gormley had come back to Pittsburgh about a month before he went down, and they were here for their own medical stuff. And John said, can you build a house? And they're like, yeah, we do that. But they said it's best to send the money down ahead of time. It costs about $3,000 to build the house out of cinder block. It's 20 by 20 square feet, foot square.
Yep.
All one room.
One room house.
And so when they got there, that much the locals had done. They had the walls up. And so because there was only 2 days that we were in that town, so half of our team would go to the job site and the other half would stay at the medical clinic. And yes, there was a physical therapy clinic too back at SLC. But so they had to build the door, build a window to fill in the space, put the roof on, and then what they did to get more light, because there was only that one window, was one section of the roof was like plexiglass. It's corrugated.
You could see through.
Yeah, to let some light in, and so they had to then dig out the floor. They had a bucket brigade to bring in concrete. Built a little. It's John inside.
That's John looking out the window.
Is he inside or outside? John, I can't even tell. Because
John's the one that saved our drone, so he's very resourceful.
Yeah. So, but they added a porch on. So really, the next team that goes down there needs to build an outhouse for them, because that is just one room for a family of 6.
Wow.
The parent and the father was there on the job site working with them all the time and helping to build it.
There's putting the corrugated
That's
roof
actually the pastor of Bellefield Church there. He likes to do the construction too.
Which one?
The guy on the ground by the ladder.
Yeah.
That's Josh Brown. He always likes to do the construction. And so they've got the concrete all done. They added the porch.
Nice.
And Angel is writing something in the wet concrete. It was kind of cute because he had misspelled Bellefield, but then they were going to add the date, in there.
And we're gonna show these slides again at the end, very end, after we're off the air, like as people are watching the closing.
Okay.
But I think there's actually the handing over of the keys.
Yes, there is. Yeah, was the key ceremonial.
So it starts with the keys. The video starts with the key handing video, and it ends with the key standing video. So people can watch that at the end. They'll see the family. That's the family in that.
Yeah, and it might look like there's only 3 kids, depending, because there's a baby on her back. On the mom's back. So.
The guy looks really young too.
He does.
I thought he was a kid.
No, you know what? I don't know what happened to their first house, if it just fell down around them, but they had been living with the in-laws. Yeah, you can't see the little one on the back.
Oh, there they are. That's
so nice. Angel is the one in a red shirt. He's from a cell seat. But yeah, you're right. Well, they are Mayans, and they are rather short of stature.
Yeah.
So, But a lot of those kids were playing with us over at the church. I didn't even realize they were going to be part of the family.
So Rob was asking more about the medical clinic.
Okay, so we did the sort of pop-up clinic in San Antonio just for the 2 days. But the yellow building that there was a picture of earlier was the, they call it the Father's Heart, I think, medical clinic at SLC, that one. And that runs year-round, I believe. I think maybe 1 or 2 days a week, that people come, by chicken bus or tuk-tuks, or they walk or whatever. But cool. So that's a permanent fixture there.
All right.
There was
So
an eye milk clinic. Yeah, okay. So those are other things they do in the medical clinic. So the eye clinic is pretty much run by another mission group from Michigan or Missouri, I don't remember which. The milk clinic is for the pregnant women and the newborns that they try to get down the prenatal care they need and the milk and stuff. That's our group.
There's your whole team, huh?
Yeah, and I was not the oldest one there.
Really? How about that?
Up in the front row. Okay, so we had 3 generations in the one family.
How about that?
The 13-year-old and her mom and her grandma were all
Oh,
there.
is that
And
neat?
I know. I think that's so cool. And it was not the first time for Grandma. She had been there before.
Well, that's great.
So I knew it was going to be okay.
People putting it out there.
I was just worried about, with my new knee, how that was going to go. But I made it. I survived.
It's really it's an amazing thing, how you're really affected. Do you have any like life lessons that you walked away with, like things that you thought, because you've been on quite a few mission trips here and there.
This was the first foreign mission trip. Mm-hmm. This is the first time I've been further than West Virginia on a mission trip. But unless Shawnee State
so that
Park
was pretty
is farther.
different. Did you have to get a lot of shots for it?
Some, not all of them. I had to do the typhoid and that. As soon as I married John, I got those done. I got my passport.
I don't want to talk about that's too much information. I don't want to talk about why you needed them to get married to John.
He's been to Honduras and Dominican, and I was raring to go. I'm like, I wanted to get out of the country, so I got them done. The only thing we didn't need was malaria because we were at 7,000 feet altitude, no mosquitoes, and we didn't have any problem with bugs and mosquito nets and that. So
nice.
That was kind of cool. But
hi Tom, nice to see you.
But the SLC staff had their own cooks there. We even took them with us when we went to San Antonio too. So they just said, "Don't eat anything unless we give it to you. Don't drink anything unless we give it to you."
If you have any questions, feel free to continue to ask them. But we're going to jump into the quiz. Oh. It's actually a really short quiz.
Okay.
But we'll take because we're a little short on time. But we're just going to do a few questions. This is the impossible quiz though. So these are always.
So this isn't going to be like where's the bathroom in Spanish.
Well, I design it to be things that there's no way you're going to know what it is, or it's tricky or whatever. So anyway, if you could get all 4 of these, if anybody could get all 4 of these, I'll be amazed. All right.
And no fair Googling it before they answer.
Well, yeah, that probably would be cheating.
I know how people cheat.
That definitely would be cheating. But here we go. So these are fun facts about Guatemala. Maybe we could just learn a couple of things.
Okay.
All right. So I learned a couple of things. Question 1 is this: the currency of
Guatemala. I know this one.
Guatemala.
They had to explain it to us.
How do you Quetzal?
Quetzal, I think.
Quetzal is named after. Is it named after King Quetzal, who's the conquering Spanish king, or the Quetzal, which is a type of bird, or Quetzal, which is a Mayan word that means payment, Quetzal, or is it the food Quetzal, which is a type of pretzel that you dip into mustard? Which
should I hold back and wait and see what other people?
So you know the answer.
This one I know. They happen to mention to us.
You have the definitive answer.
So it's like.
Okay, we'll give it like 10 seconds, and we'll see what people will have to say, and. So this is your opportunity to see.
Because since their money was named after it, I think they called it quetzales, and for to shorten it, they just said Qs, and the exchange rate was like 7.6 something Qs per dollar. Oh, so whenever we were shopping, we were trying to figure out how much.
And you never knew how much anything cost.
Yeah, sort of. But what just cracked me up was in the markets, and they tell you to negotiate and always only offer half, and then they work it up, and you make them an offer, and they whip out their cell phone and they get the calculator out, and then they decide whether to.
Because you were saying it in dollars, or.
Well, yeah. So that's how it was. All right. So I saw somebody said B. I don't know who that was.
Somebody said A just now. I saw as well. So we're getting a couple of different types of guesses.
All right.
But you can give us what's the
correct answer is B. It's a bird. It's like their national bird. It would be like if we named our money like bald eagles or golden eagles or something like that. You know what I mean?
I put this in for you because you're a bird lover, and so I knew.
And I never got to see one down there.
There's what they are. They're these gorgeous. I didn't show the whole bird. The whole bird's even
more
gorgeous.
The tail is
it's got
really
this
long.
Like sweeping
it just goes
tail
on.
that's different colored, and the males have like special feathers that they grow, and there's some really. You should look up.
I should look that up.
However you pronounce Quetzal.
Quetzal.
It's a colorful bird that lives in the mountainous tropical forests of Central America, where they eat fruit, insect, lizards, and other small creatures.
Lizards. Okay.
Yeah, they're not afraid.
Nope.
So you already have a head start on the impossible quiz.
Yeah, I got one.
You got the cue. All right. The next question is: the process of instant coffee mass production was invented in Guatemala.
Really?
Yeah. Instant coffee. Right?
Instant coffee.
So the question is, who was the person? Was it Was it Roberto Nescafe, who lived in Puerto San Jose? Was it Emmanuel Folgers, who lived in Flores? Was it Juan Valdez, who was born in Antigua? Or is it George Washington, who slept there?
Okay, thanks for narrowing it down to 3. Oh.
It's a tough one. You didn't even know that instant coffee was invented there.
No.
That could have been the question.
No, we made a point of buying whole bean coffee while we were
there. By the
there.
way, when it was invented, nobody thought it was any good.
Probably not.
So, got a guess? What are your guesses?
Guess A.
So you're guessing A. Robert Nescafe.
Oh, who said D?
Somebody says D? Oh, that's Ida that says D.
Is that Ida?
She thinks George Washington.
I think it's either A or B, but I'm going to go with A.
Kathy's going with C. Got lots
Juan
of different
Valdez
guesses.
is the guy that does the commercials, where he's
Juan
always
Valdez.
walking around.
Well, this is my... I couldn't fool Ida. This was my key my key joke. It was actually invented by George Washington, but not the George Washington you're thinking
Oh,
of.
come on.
It was George Constant Lewis Washington.
That was sneaky.
And he went to visit there. And
oh my gosh.
the coffee brand was discontinued in 1961.
Okay.
But you can still purchase G. Washington seasoning and broth. It's at the grocery store, so you can go see it. And there's George
definitely
Washington.
The impossible
right
question.
there.
But you said Ida got it.
She did. She
I
said
just
D.
figured somebody was just being funny.
Yeah, I just hope maybe she was trying to be funny, but maybe she knew. Say, stop. She's
Okay,
a coffee
I'm stirring her
aficionado.
up.
Nescafe actually perfected it later,
Okay.
and so they added some stuff to it to make it more tasteful, but people hated it when it came out. So anyway, all right, question number 3. What popular snack was invented in Guatemala? Was it the single service of potato chips, innovated as a lunch snack for Guatemalan field workers? Or was it the chocolate bar that dates back to Mayan days? Or was it chewing gum that was developed after the observation that children were chewing on gum tree sticks? Or was it kettle corn popcorn invented by John Zolko, who's now considered the father of Guatemalan popcorn?
Poporopos. We used to call it palomitas de mas because we thought that's in Spanish, but they called it poporopos. Okay, I have my guess. Ooh.
So it's a guess, though. You're not sure.
No, I'm not sure.
That's why it's the impossible test.
Yeah,
Impossible quiz. Come on.
Got it narrowed down to 2 choices.
You want to come up?
Is anybody else
Stop
guessing?
waiting.
Who is that? Is that Ida?
There's somebody guessing C. Yep, that's Ida's guess, which I don't
There's
know.
another one
Ida's
that's a
usually
C.
Ida's supposed to go with B. But there's Tom. C. Lots of people are going with C. If this were what's the name of that show? The $1 Million.
64.
Yeah, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? So the audience seems to be leaning toward.
You know, my first thought was
Mary
C.
Lou, the audience seems to be leaning towards C.
Yeah,
What would be your
but
answer?
you know what? I was going to go with C, and then I kind of had second thoughts about B, the chocolate. Because I figured anything having to do with corn, but it wasn't there. But anyways, you're talking about a snack, and they have tortillas like 3 times a day,
All right.
Chocolate.
Final
I'm going
answer.
with chocolate. B.
Final answer. You're going against the
I'm going with
against
B.
the grain, and you were right to go against the grain.
Yeah.
Because the answer is chocolate bar. The chocolate bar was actually dates back to Mayan days.
But you know what? And the only reason I thought of that was because when the people had come to Pittsburgh from Guatemala, and they brought a bunch of chocolate with them, little different flavors of chocolate, and it's very different tasting than ours. In fact, almost anything down there with sugar. Their soda, their Coke tastes different. Their ketchup is different. Anything with sugar in it.
So did you see the note there? There's chocolate residue dating. They found chocolate residue dating back to 460 A.D. on a boat in Guatemala. So they think that it goes way,
Do you think
way,
that's a
way
boat,
back.
or do you think that's a container, a vessel?
Oh,
Maybe it could be a
you're right.
clay pot.
You're right. In a clay pot. That's where they made their candy bars.
Yeah.
In clay pots.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's the next one. You got it right.
That's 2 for me.
That's shocking. Rob apparently joined you to get it right. All right, let's go on to question number 4. Guatemala's Lake Atitlan is the deepest lake in Central America.
We were there, and I don't.
And the question is, how deep
read
is
the
it?
sign.
The first answer is it's actually only 55 meters deep at the deepest
John
point.
knows this one.
The maximum depth is about 340 meters, about 1/5 of a mile, that would be. Or more than 1,700 meters, which is more than a mile. Or is the lake deep and wide? There's a
Did you have fun coming up with these answers? We were there. I rode the boat across it, and there was a sign. But I think the people that hiked it, they had pictures of the sign.
This is one, see, you could Google.
Yeah, but I remember John coming back because he didn't do the boat ride. He did the hike, and there was 3 volcanoes on the other side, and I don't remember if
did they talk a lot about the depth of what did they talk about at the lake?
They didn't really narrate it. It was a little boat ride, a little motorboat. There was a bunch of us. I'm gonna go with C.
Really deep. Seems like some people are going there. Ida went with her B. That's her default answer. I've learned never to put B as the answer because Ida always guesses B.
Well, I try not to guess the same one twice in a row.
The answer is B. But it is about 1/5 of a mile. But it's not really known for its depth. What it's known for is its depth of beauty.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
It's known to be it's regarded as the most beautiful lake in the world.
Oh.
And it's this country's most important national and international tourist attraction. So people from all around come there.
There was like a touristy kind of city nearby.
There's a picture of a couple of the volcanic mountains
I got that
in the
picture.
background.
There's 3 actually on the other side.
Yeah. So that's our questions. If I have a 5th question,
so I got 2.
If I have a 5th question, it's only because I started a 5th question and didn't finish it, but I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So that's the end of our quiz. But what we're going to do now is we're going to shift over and we're going to bring Ida into the into the shot. So Ida, give me a second here. We'll bring you up. Ida is coming on. There's Ida. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing? See if we can hear Ida. Are you there, Ida?
Hey, Ida.
Hello. She doesn't seem to be hearing us.
She's busy watching. Does she have the ears on?
Ida, if you're just hearing this now, it means you're 15 seconds behind. Well, she thinks she's on, but she's not.
Uh-oh.
We might have to go on without Ida. This has never happened before. She is probably... Here's what happens. When you watch online, you're behind. And so she's probably far behind. There, she just turned her sound on, so now she can hear us.
Hi there.
I'm here.
It took a minute to bring you on. We just got a shot of you. That's a very awkward moment when you're just on the screen. And we were going to go with
Hopefully I was behaving myself.
Yeah, you were. I was just trying to think of something funny to say that you were doing.
So it is nice to have you on, Ida. Ida, we
nice to be here.
We would. You're back home, right? Where
I'm in Illinois. I came back for a wedding, which was a lovely wedding in Chicago, and then drove back down to Springfield and got to visit with some dear friends and family, and it's been a really nice trip.
Oh, that's nice.
Great. So Ida felt like she wasn't getting enough camera time tonight, so she just decided she would just pause for a good 15 or 20 seconds at the beginning of the interview.
Right, that's what I was doing. Hi, Sheila.
You want to say hi to Ida?
That's one confused looking dog.
She's down there looking a little confused.
She doesn't know where I am.
So Ida, bring us into your saying of the week, will you?
Yeah, I would love to. Well, every week I do the shout outs and birthdays, and I noticed that actually August 4th is National Friendship Day. So, and with what Mary Lou was discussing with her trip to Guatemala and the love that I'm sure that was shared there in Guatemala and what goes on in mission trips, I thought this was particularly appropriate. And it's a quote by Woodrow Wilson. Friendship is the only cement that will ever hold the world together. So I just believe that there's nothing more important than relationships and friendships and love for one another. So that's why I chose this one.
And there's a picture of a globe with a bunch of folks from all around the world, international folks of different nationalities pictured there. Friendship is the only cement that will ever hold the world together.
Interesting that it was Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah, that is an interesting one.
Cool.
So we're anxious to really press this issue of friendships. We think that even though everybody knows that friendships are important, we forget when we're doing a job, when we work at a store, or when we're running a church, or when we're doing a disability thing together. We forget that friendship is the centerpiece of that, isn't it, Ida? And,
it certainly is, and if it isn't, it should be.
Right.
Yeah. So that's very cool.
So we have a few birthdays. You want me to do the birthdays too?
If you want to do shout outs on the birthdays, that'd be great.
Oh, we can wait.
No, feel free.
Whatever.
Feel free.
Right, just sit here and look at people for 20 seconds. on today, the 31st, it's Tony Panic Lucas's birthday. Happy birthday, Tony. On August 3rd is Ashley Palante Blevins. August 4th, Livy Olcom, a dear sweet girl we met at camp, at family retreat. August 6th is Elisa Kafiki. So happy birthday, everybody. And if we missed anybody, please feel free to write in and make sure that we don't miss them in the future. So if we have a pretty there's some people that we're missing, so feel free to put those in.
Even Selah is saying happy birthday. I don't know if you heard, but that was actually happy. She was singing the song, Happy Birthday.
It sounded more like a song to me.
You can't imagine how much Rob's looking for a Polish person. He's in the photo of all the international people. But Rob, we have your picture up on the screen now. So there you go.
There you go.
I was gonna say, here she is.
Yeah, you're Polish?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. So so we had it side by side.
Covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've lost my bearings a little bit here. Oh, we want to do the joke. We want to do the joke of the day. So let's switch over to the joke of the day. And the jokester, we'll see you. Well, hang on though, Ida. If we have a question or want to bring you back on, we'll do that at the end.
Okay, I'll be here.
So stay there. The joke of the day is Patty Ariana. So Patty, take it away. Patty says, "I don't trust stairs."
Okay. What's not to trust?
They're always up to something.
Oh, man.
Even Patty doesn't like. If you look at the look on her face,
I know that
even she
looks like that's a lame joke. You had a couple of good ones there, but that
was a good one.
It's
oh,
okay.
come on! I've got to get somebody to sit in that seat that becomes a fan of the jokes. Those are not my jokes. That was Patty's joke. Patty, thank you for playing along, allowing us to put words in your mouth. Yeah. We enjoyed that. And thank you all for particularly those on Facebook that have stopped by to help us out. We're going to keep going.
Okay, so is YouTube done?
But we are going to say goodbye to the YouTube folks. And I lost my YouTube closeout window here.
Oh, so did you see that comment?
No, what's that?
From Anna Marie.
That is a good one. How about that? Life is good. Yeah, I can't find the. Oh, here we go. Nope, that's so not the Facebook ending. Well, anyway, Facebook folks, we love you. We're glad you're here. We're gonna say no, not Facebook, YouTube people. We're gonna say goodbye to you. There are other videos that you can watch, and they are recommended over there in that window, and also down below in the doobly doo. So take a look at that. We'll see you YouTubers later.